What's up, everybody? Nick here. We are continuing my October extravaganza with a Halloween video or a horror video every single day of this month. It is now October 7th, so we're a week in. We're almost a quarter of the way through, and we're going to keep this train moving. At this point, if I don't shave, I might have a beard at the end of this October extravaganza, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably end up shaving. But today's video is going to be talking about which movie in the Halloween franchise I think is the most underrated. So let's talk about it. Alright, so like I said, today's video is going to focus on which movie in the Halloween franchise I feel is the most underrated of every single film in the franchise. But before we get into that, if you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. If you already are a subscriber, thanks a lot. Appreciate your support, and thanks for continuing to watch. So I thought long and hard about which movie in the franchise I feel is the most underrated. And when I came up with my conclusion, I actually surprised myself a little bit on what I chose. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through each of the movies in the franchise and kind of talk about how I feel they're rated. So starting right off with the OG 1978. Is this movie underrated, overrated? I feel this movie is probably rated appropriately. You have many people who hail it as a classic. There's a lot of people that think it's pretty good. You don't really hear anyone say it's terrible. You might have a few younger people talk about the slow pacing or things like that, but in the grand scheme of things, most people hail this movie as a classic, which tells me it's not underrated and it's rated appropriately. Moving on to Halloween 2, 1981. Is this movie rated appropriately? I think so, because at least up until 2018 came around, this you heard as most people's favorite sequel. It is my favorite sequel. It will probably always be my favorite sequel for many reasons, which we'll get into in some other video. But because most people still have it as their favorite sequel, even with 2018, you still get, if it's not their favorite, it's half and half. I think it's probably rated appropriately. All right, next movie, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Here's where things get interesting. Look, this movie was underrated for a long time. In some respects, it still is underrated, because you'll still see casual fans or casual moviegoers say, "Oh, the one with Michael Myers, without Michael Myers, I don't like that movie," when they haven't even seen it. I was one of those people when I was younger. Like I said before, I was wrong. This is a great movie. But what I think's happened to it lately, and by lately I mean the last couple of years, it's almost become such a cult classic and been talked about for being underrated for so long that it's almost become a little bit overrated. I'm not saying it's overrated, because I don't think it is, but we're bordering right on the verge of where it could become overrated in the near future. So if this list was made 5 years ago, Halloween 3 would be the slam dunk choice. I don't think it is right now, so we'll move on. Halloween 4. Is this movie rated appropriately by the general movie-going audience and by horror fans? I believe this one is as well. Most fans hail this as a very good sequel, and for most, including myself, if it's not in the upper couple, it is right in the middle, which is right where it should be. This is a well-done sequel, and I think it's rated appropriately. Halloween 5. Is this movie underrated? No, absolutely not. It's terrible. Halloween 6. The Curse of Michael Myers, no matter which version, let's just talk both versions in general. Is this movie rated appropriately? I actually think this movie is underrated. Here's why. Because you had the producer's cut out there, because you have the horrible, horrible storyline out there of the Curse of Thorn and all kinds of shit. You know, there's so many bad things about this movie that the good things get overlooked. What are the good things? You have the atmosphere, the feel of Halloween, the portrayal of the Shape, in my opinion. I know that can be a divisive issue right there, but it actually feels like a Halloween movie. Like I said, there are a lot of issues, and everything that people say about the story issues and everything like that, they're right. They are right. But we tend to overlook some of the good things this movie does. So I would put this in the underrated camp. We're going to go through the other movies here, see how they're rated, and then we'll determine if Halloween 6 should be the most underrated Halloween movie. Halloween H2O. Is this movie underrated? No. I would say this is probably the most overrated movie in the franchise because there is no atmosphere in this. You guys have heard me talk about this. Chris Duran's terrible as the Shape. There's 25 different masks. Nothing about this movie is good to me except for the portrayal of Laurie Strode by Jamie Lee Curtis. So it's not underrated. It's overrated. Resurrection. Is this movie underrated? This is actually a tough one for me. I don't like this movie. I think it's the second worst in the franchise. I wouldn't call it underrated because it's terrible. Okay. There are aspects of this movie that might be a tad underrated, such as a few of the shots and a couple of the scenes in the Myers house. And they actually got the Myers house right. Wow, H5. Who knew? But I can't call this movie underrated just because it's so garbage. So that's out. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007. I think this movie is probably also rated appropriately because you have a lot of people that love it. Once again, a lot of younger people. And then there's a lot of people that hate it. And it is what it is. It's a remake by Rob Zombie. It's fine to me as far as what the general consensus is. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, also garbage. Wow, there's a lot of garbage sequels in this franchise. Have you noticed that? It sucks because we're all big fans. But anyway, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009 is rated just how it should be because it fucking sucks. Which brings us to the latest Halloween movie, Halloween 2018. From what I can tell, probably about 80% of fans like and love this movie, and 20% of fans are not big fans of this movie. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I think based on the fan consensus, it is also rated appropriately. So, there you have it. I think Halloween 6 of all the movies in the Halloween franchise is the most underrated. Let me know what you guys think. This could be an interesting discussion here because I know we're going to get a lot of Halloween 3s. We might get some Halloween 4s, which I won't argue with. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Kind of go through the franchise, think about what the general consensus is. And the general consensus among fans, are the movies, held in the right esteem? Are they rated appropriately? So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think.